Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ron Sparks. We have AF Riggins out there. Hopefully, Byron Glass joins us soon. Pastor, I'm going to tell you something in just a minute, but I'm going to have to. How was your day first?
Pretty good, brother. Pretty good.
I can see your lips moving, Pastor, but I can't hear a word that you're saying. So, what I'm going to have to do is do this. And it's probably on my end. It's probably on my end,
sir.
So I'm going to work it out on my end. Pastor, just tell them how your day was, and I'm going to move from there and kind of figure out what's going on.
My day pretty good, brother. My day pretty good.
I can see you when your lips moving, but
yes,
we got a different show tonight.
You can't hear me, though. It says my mic is loud and clear. It says my mic is live. My mic is live. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Come again. Hello.
Pastor, you know how it is when you're trying to get stuff to work and it doesn't work.
Can you hear me now?
Try to work through this. Every time I see your lips move, I'm gonna have to be a lip reader because I can't see anything.
You can't hear me now? When we come back into it?
What's going on?
Listen, can you hear me now?
But Pastor, I saw one problem and I went to another problem. But anyway, tonight's show is about government. I have my notes right in front of me because this is not one of them shows that's geared up toward everybody else, is geared toward me. And then I'm the one with the technical difficulties where I can't hear nobody. So I'm going to have to do this the hard way. Government life and war for blacks in America. And Pastor, the reason why I came up with that subject matter is because, you know, now they're throwing a lot of terms out there.
Yes, sir.
They're throwing a whole lot of terms out there, and they're expecting people to understand them because times are changing. And, you know, I listen to other media channels, and they throw different terms out there, and I don't think people truly know how it affects them as a whole. So that was one of the reasons why I came up with this show tonight, was to try to get this thing up and running and try to do. I see you going in and out, so I might be on here by myself tonight. So I just it's one of those things. I'm prepared for it, and I just have to continue talking and running my mouth and seeing if it does any better. Because right now I don't have anything going in my ears. I'm trying to check my audio, and I'm gonna have to check my audio. I did test it before I came on the air. I'm gonna test it again. Oh, I see where the problem is. Let me go back and disconnect some stuff, and then I'll be able to come back on the air. But if you can hear me, one of the things that I really want to do, if I turn my head away, don't think that I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to get this sound to come up in the background. I rerouted some stuff, and now I can't even hear anybody out there. Can't hear Pastor Riggins. I can't hear anybody else out there. So hopefully everybody can hear me because I can see my sound going out. But, you know, it's some things in America, and I think that as they start throwing them terms out there and they start continue doing what they're doing, one of the things is redlining. Redlining is almost where they take a community and they disenfranchise it by taking the financial part out of it. You can't get financing. They won't allow you to move forward within the community. They can also take away your votes by redistricting at the same time. So redlining was something that, and it just kind of shows you as black people how residual we are, because we're residual people. We came from a long way. And Pastor, I see you back out there, and I'm trying to get into, I don't know if you can see me because I haven't got you back. Oh, I can see. Okay, I got you.
Can you hear me now?
I see you now.
Can you hear me now?
Pastor Redlining was just one of those things where they tried to discriminate against us, and as they tried to discriminate against us, it was like they had certain zones where black people in America couldn't get ahead, and we don't realize the different stuff that we went through as a people.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ron, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, so Pastor can't hear me either, huh?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Hey,
wow.
Ron,
You can't
I can hear you.
You can't hear me, Pastor?
Yes. I can hear you.
But I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Okay. I'm glad you can hear me because I sure can't hear you. I'm just out here looking at
I don't know. I have
them lips moving with that suit on that's matching that shirt, and I could tell you understand what I'm saying because every time I say something that makes sense, you smile, so I figured that you hear me. But
fix it, Ron. Fix it.
I want to tell you the reason why I'm in this redlining thing, and I'm trying to go through. I know it's a lot of line items that I presented to you guys to talk about, but redlining and the government, life and war. It's so much that they did to us as a black people, and I think that as we start going through the stuff that's where they're doing all this protesting in the streets around America, I think people forget what we went through. I don't think they're not into what we went to. It's almost like they passing over where we were instead of understanding that we were discriminated against first. So I know that what they're trying to do, but still, they holding the flag up. They acting like they're the only people that's had some type of discrimination against them. And we didn't ask to be, with most of our ancestors, didn't ask to come here. So, Pastor,
yes, sir.
I just want you to elaborate for a while. If you could talk for a little bit and I see your lips moving, yes. I know I can go over there and work on my project over there.
All right. Okay. Try to get me on, man. See what you can do to try to get me going live so my sound can come up. This is craziness. It seems like we always have a technical difficulties, but we can work it out some kind of way. I know on my side, I do have sound. My mic, let me see my mic. Microphone. My mic. See what we can do with the mic. Can you hear me now? Microphone is on.
Sometimes I wish it was a way I could call into the show like we used to do and kind of handle the show. I'm looking at you, put yourself on mute, so I know it must not be a sound out there. If you're listening to the show, I want to apologize because I had got everything set up before we went into the show, and then after we got into the show, I tried to get I wanted to live up to my word and get this telephone working. And when I added the telephone to the show, it's like it didn't work any further. So, and I can't get sound out of. I can't hear anybody. I can see Pastor, and I think I don't even know if Pastor can hear me because every time yeah, so he can hear me, but Pastor, I need a little bit of help. I need some help if you can hear me. Because I can't hear you, so I can't interact with you. The only thing that I can do is talk until I can get the other part up. So if you could kind of carry the show, talk about current events or something, just until I can get this going.
But I can't. They can't hear me though.
Because I don't want to lose the audience.
But I don't know if they can hear me though. I don't know if they can hear me. If someone can hear me, please put in the chat that you can hear Pastor Riggins talking, or Bishop Riggins talking. See, please put in the chat you can hear me talking. If you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Well, Pastor, I guess we're going. If this is the case, I can't hear you and I don't see your lips moving. So I understand that we're having difficulties and I'm trying. So
I'm trying
I might have
to.
to get out and sign back in and see what's going on. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a show tonight. I'm frustrated and upset. I know that I shouldn't have made the changes before the show. And I had it set up where everything was working. I can take telephone calls. Can't do very much more. So I apologize. I want to say I'm sorry. I got people involved in this, and all of this is on me because I can't. I'm trying to get my sound to come up. I'm trying to get everything to go back like it was, and I can't do it. And this one's on me, guys. I could do the whole show by myself, but I need a little bit of input right now, and evidently Pastor Riggins can't do it because he's out there. So it's just one of those things that I have to work through. And my show tonight was going to be about Black people, Black Americans in government. I see you, Byron. I don't know if you can hear me, Byron, but I'm having a problem with Can you hear me? Well, I'm having a problem. I can't. I was trying to get Pastor Riggins to engage, and Pastor Riggins just looked at me like he couldn't hear me. So I was like, well, I need a little bit of time so I can reroute the system, but I need somebody to engage or else we're going to lose our audience that's out there. So Pastor Riggins got some help. Pastor, I know
you can hear me now.
Glass is out there. So
can you hear me?
Y'all can talk to each other, I'm good. And I know you got
Baron Glass mic is off.
I'm gonna be like my big brother out there. I'm gonna take the sunroof off my car and ride down the street just like him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I see you, Glass. I see you, Pastor Riggins. I lost you on the stage. I was too excited.
Baron Glass, can you hear me?
Byron can hear you, Pastor Riggins.
Baron, can you hear me, Baron? I can't hear you, Baron. I'm
Mike. Good if
Mike. Baron,
if you just
want
to talk about current events, go ahead and talk about current events. I'll try to work on my stuff in the background if you want me to.
Hey, Baron, can you hear me? Baron Glass, can you hear me? Baron Glass.
It's probably noisy where he's at, Pastor. So you're gonna have to carry the show a little bit.
I don't know if Baron can hear me though. If he can hear me, then everybody else can.
How Trump is.
I need somebody somebody listen out there. I need them to send a chat in that they can hear me.
Just give me about 10 minutes. And
I'll
figure this thing out.
Okay. Baron, can you hear me? Baron, can you hear me? He frozen in time like he on an airplane or something. Can you hear me? Baron Glass. Well, people, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Someone need to call in and text and say, can they hear me? I really need someone to tell me, can they hear me on the show? I don't know if anybody can hear me or not, but while Ron wanted to talk about what's going on with African Americans, I want to talk about the current events. And what it is that we find ourselves on the verge of a war in the Middle East that may break out to all-out war, which I think is designed to help Benjamin Netanyahu, can't get his last name out, of Israel, who is the prime minister of Israel, who before October 7, 2023 was facing a lot of... Baron, can you hear me? Baron Glass, can you hear me? Baron Glass, can you hear me? Baron Glass, can you hear me? You can't hear me? Okay, thank you. All right, Ron couldn't hear me, so I didn't know if the show could hear me. So we're facing maybe an all-out war in the Middle East because Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel, was facing a lot of charges, indictments for corruption before October 7, 2023, when Hamas attacked Israel. And I believe that they purposely provoked Hamas because they already knew for a couple of months what Hamas was up to. But that war gave him coverage to continue to be leader's prime minister. That war has basically come to an end. So with Trump as president of the United States, Trump basically gave him the green light to attack Iran, which with him in war with Iran keeps him once again in his president. Trump even comes on news and says in the press conference, we know what the supreme leader of Iran is. We just don't want to kill him right now. That stuff is a lot of crazy talk. And then he's always talking about World War III. Both of them are in cahoots. Just as if you looking back in 1939, when you had Hitler and Mussolini, who were in cahoots to start a world war for their own power. So I put nothing past Trump and the Prime Minister of Israel. And if you notice, the gas price went up from $2.38 today to $2.59. 21 cents jump because you bombing one of the places where we get oil from, are connected to OPEC, along with Iran and all those Arab countries. You're trying to drag them into a war. Trump is a criminal. I'll say it again. Trump is a criminal. Netanyahu, I can't pronounce his name like I want to, tongue-tied. But Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel, is indicted on charges also. They have the like mind. The Baron Glass in here talking, he'll say, devils run with the devil. Devils connect with devils. And that's what I look at as I see what's going on. And so while everybody's excited about, we're bombing Iran and all this kind of stuff, we're not bombing it. Israel is, but they want us to directly be involved in the bombing Iran. And all it's going to do is drag us into possibly on the verge of a all-out war in the Middle East, which could turn into a world war, which could turn into a nuclear mishap. It's very dangerous. I don't want to over-exaggerate. I don't want to over-excite anyone. But you see, all this comes in the face of Trump having his 79th birthday party, 250th birthday of the Army, with 10,000 people shows up in Washington, D.C., while over 10 to 11 million people march all over the country in protest of no king. Now on Saturday, the numbers out there were 10 million people. By the time it gets to the main media, they're not going to lie, but they're not going to tell the whole truth. They said over 5 million people showed up. Yes, over 5 million people showed up. But over 5 million times 2, over 10 million. You got to pay attention what the media did. On the day of the actual No Kings protest, all types of social media, all types of news outlet that was on the ground, when they did all the numbers, over 10 million people, about 11 million people marched. By the time it came to main media, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, and all the CNN, they say over 5 million people protested, which is true. Over 5 million people protested, but it ain't the whole truth. The whole truth is over 11 million people protested. And all Trump is doing, setting himself up, is hurting the Republican Party. Even in the red states, they were marching, saying no king, no king, no king. So what it is setting up is, it's setting up for us to understand that when the 2026 so when it's in 2026, when it's time to vote for the Congress and the Senate, the Democrats need to take back over. And we need to find a way to impeach and remove this president. J.D. Vance won't be that much better, but I believe J.D. Vance will be more stable person for as world matters, foreign policy, and divorce us from going into some type of disaster worldwide. Also to set up the election for 2028 in which someone can credibly run against J.D. Vance. He has a whole lot of baggage. But Trump is trying to set himself up not to ever have an election again. And so we have to look at this whole situation wide open, eyes wide open, understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a criminal that has no conscience, that has no moral compass or moral foundation. And it's on one thing: power, greed, money, and hate. Is how he operates. Power, get all the money he can make out of everything he can, even through the presidency, legal and illegally. And hate, racism. He says ICE is now going to crack down everywhere because of protests. And he wants to even come after people of color who are African Americans, if he can. So it's very important that we know the premise of where Trump is coming from, the premise of where they're operating in the world matters. He's down to the G7, trying to petition for Russia to come back in, make it G8. He was saying a bunch of crazy stuff until they had to sit him down at the G7. He's like an uncle that's out there almost in senility or senile, and at the same time, like he has lost his mind, but he has the keys to the kingdom. He has the keys, he has the nuclear codes, he has all of the high classified information, top secret classification information. He has the power as the president of the United States to do a lot of things, and he's unfit. He's unfit spiritually, unfit mentally, unfit emotionally. Have you seen how he and Milana operates in the public? Even at his little parade, sleeping and grabbing her by the finger, she pushing her finger back, just crazy stuff. Stuff that is embarrassing, things that look like, like it's just, you wouldn't even imagine for the president of the United States to even to deal with. But it's not him dealing with it, we're all dealing with it. You have over 300 million people in America who's at risk because of one unhinged, uncontrolled President Donald J. Trump. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I speak the truth. And it's time that we stand up and do something about it. You can do something about it through protesting, do something about it through voting in midterm elections, do something about getting the word out and having civil unrest. We have a right as Americans to create civil unrest in a lawful manner. No looting, no stealing, no violence. But we have to be made, our voices made loud and clear that we're not going to fall for this situation and this administration. They did some polling. Over 55% of Americans are against Trump and his policies, including mainstream Republicans. Only MAGA is running with him. Okay, I can't read the comments, Baron Glass. I can't see okay, we can't hear you. Thank you. Oh, this guy named Sean. Thank you, Sean. We can hear you. Sean said, "Is this new? We all knew this before the election." No, Sean, we're right. We all knew this before the election. The only problem was nobody believed it. No one believed. No one believed, or if they believed it, they thought it was all fantasy. Even now today, they don't even believe that the 2025. Somebody was talking with someone the other day. They don't even believe that the Project 2025 is being put in effect. And the sad thing about it, a lot of religious folk, conservative, mainstream, evangelical, going to church, Anglo-American folk, has bought into the whole mess and dragged African Americans into it. That are either ignorant or serving that ideology, are plain just stupid and foolish, are running blindly behind this confusion, this mess, this trouble. And so, even as we speak tonight, we don't know what tomorrow will bring for us foreign policy and the war in the Middle East. I think Trump is setting us up for martial law. He had put out an executive order to begin to study in April. If you notice all the chaos he's putting in the streets of this, trying to stir up these demonstrations in sanctuary cities, by the time the middle of June, and we get into the middle of June, we've got to the middle of June already. By the end of June, by June 30th, he can try to make a decision of what he wants martial law. Once we go into martial law, he could keep it in martial law all the way to 2028 and try to hold up the elections, or even try to disrupt the 2026 elections. This is the type of guy we're dealing with. Sean said, the only thing they didn't believe was that they non-brown skin thought they could benefit. Yes, the non-brown skin thought they could benefit from it. See, he dog whistles, Sean. He dog whistles and send out all the different signals that, people that were Anglo-Americans have lost their power, lost their leverage, lost the numbers. But if you let me be elected, I'll bring us back into power. We'll recreate our numbers. We'll go do away with abortion and have more babies than Anglo-Americans. You see what I'm saying? We want to try to we want to take our history and impose it upon everybody the way we want to be heard. One of the things I say as a history educator, when the book says his story, it's history, it's his story to write the book. He wants to rewrite the book of America's past, America's present, and America's future based on his ideology, his way of looking at life, racism, and hate. And non-brown, as you say, Americans want to follow that, thinking they'll benefit from it through power, through financially, trying to change the tax codes, get the rich more tax breaks, want to change it through them having all the positions on a local level. Come on, that's where everything really happened on a local level. Them having the power to try to make America look like it looked in the 1940s, 1950s. Ron, can you hear me now? I can't hear you, Ron, but can you hear me? Yeah. So, Sean, thank you, Sean, for asking the questions. So, where's the problem? Is it, were people misled, or do we have a bigger issue? People wasn't misled. African Americans who bought into it was misled, but Anglo Americans weren't misled. Now, I don't believe that he actually won the election, but that's yet to be vetted. It's yet to be. I believe the election was stolen. They had the right systems in place, and President Biden was asleep at the wheel. And now, what's next, as Sean said? What's next is we've got to gather our forces for November 2026 for midterm elections. But we also have to find a way to make sure state by state that elections are fair and open. And if we flip the House and the Senate and get enough of votes out there to impeach and to put him on trial for his third impeachment and to get rid of him, we're going somewhere. So that's what's next. Meanwhile, in between, just like the protesters, no king, every inch, every move he makes that we as Americans don't like, we got to be vocal and loud. Like he was embarrassed and not having the numbers at his birthday party. We got the embarrassment at every corner we can. Push him into a corner. Push him into a situation where we have him, make him come out fighting, throw a fit, show his hand, This is what we're trying to do with Donald J. Trump. Ron, we could not hear you talking. We just saw your lips moving. But they could hear me talking on YouTube. We have someone interacting named Sean, and we're having a conversation with YouTube. So anyone else out there want to have any other comments, or you can call 832-856-5964. Call 832-856-5964. Ron was talking about redlining. Redlining has to do with moving us out of our neighborhoods. They go in, they move us out the neighborhoods, buy up the land, redevelop the land, put a high housing in there, and taking over places like Third Ward Houston, Acres Home Houston, Heights Houston. Acres Home haven't taken over yet, but they're trying. Heights Houston, they did. Third Ward, they're trying. This is an example, okay? But the gerrymandering is worse than that. Gerrymandering is going in and redistricting the voting lines so that you have more Republican or more Anglo-American districts than African-American or Hispanic-leaning districts. Trump administration has pushed Texas now, Texas state legislation, to try to gerrymander, redistrict. So maybe they can cut out Sheila Jackson Lee and Al Green's district. See what I'm saying? They're trying to find ways to stay in power, to dominate by hook or by crook. And we've got to be loud enough, vocal enough, strong enough, and have courage to put a stop to it. Call out what it is, stand on what we believe, and do what we're doing now. Technology may fail us, but we're going to keep doing it. May have some difficulties, we'll keep doing it. Persecution may come. What do you mean by persecution? Folk may scandalize our name. Folk may try to cut us off at the pass before we get the word out. Folk may try to find ways to try to discredit us, but we got to keep on pushing. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. And as they sang in some places over the weekend, we shall overcome. We're still on that. We shall overcome. But one thing is that when we have the forces of good snowballing against what's evil, there's going to be a clash. And when there's a clash, we're going to come out on top if we're true to what we believe. We got to be true to what we believe. That's what that. It's uphill battle, yes, sir, because it seems that the same will some rather this country go to pot. Yes, sir. You're right, Sean. They'd rather, see, in other words, before they see us have everything we need, they'd rather just destroy everything from under us and let it be the survival of the fittest. You know, dog eat dog world. That's that trickle-down economics mentality. That's that I'm better than you classism mentality. That's that racism, divide and conquer mentality. They'd rather that happen than everyone get their fair share. And so we've got to be the one. It starts at the grassroots. We're grassroots. It can't start at the top. It swells up from the bottom. Even as you saw all those No Kings protests on Saturday, that came from groundwork, grassroots from the bottom. All the major cities and even in the red states. Even people that even voted for Trump said, wait a minute, you can't be our king. We voted you in and we need to vote you out. Well, you know he can't run again, but they're going to want to make sure that whoever he's trying to put up there to endorse, that's what's going to happen on the 2026 election. If Trump being behind somebody, that person going to die at the ballot box. I don't mean die physically. They're going to lose at the ballot box. Okay? Their hopes and dreams, their aspirations, they're wanting to become a representative or a senator is going to die at the ballot box because Trump is dangerous. He's poison now. He's poison. And this is what I knew since 2015, but you know, sometimes it takes 10 years for people to catch up. But we 4 years into the hole when the pandemic came out, and now we're another 100-some days into the hole, 120 days in the hole. After 4 years of Joe Biden, and we're in a world of trouble. This tyrant, this fascism, this wannabe king sleeping on his throne. This wannabe king sleeping in the stands. This wannabe king falling down up the stairs. And Ron can hear me. He's laughing. He can hear me. I just can't hear him. This wannabe king causing all type of havoc and worldwide, embarrassing the United States, embarrassing the office of the President of the United States. This wannabe king. We don't want any king. We don't want him to be a king. And so this is why we're standing up loud and proud. Now, let me talk about this war again. Israel is not legitimately the Israels in the Bible. So that's another way. The evangelical Christians get all twisted up on this. This Israel was created by the United States of Great Britain in 1947 after World War II, so we can get the oil out of the Middle East, what they call. They built the Suez Canal, divided away from North Africa, and called the Middle East as all North Africa. The Palestinians living there, or the same Palestinians living there when Jesus was there. Jesus was a Palestinian. Let me say it again. Jesus was a Palestinian. The Jews that move over there are Jews from Europe who they believe in the Jewish religion, but then they have the Hebraic Jews. They're not of Abraham. They're Hellenistic. What's Hellenistic Jews? The European Grecian Jews. Relocated over there up on the lands of the Palestinians and stealing their land from them. They put the Palestinians in what you call ghettos, with big old fences on the West Bank and all on the Gaza Strip. They got them like a bunch of German shepherds or pit bulls or whatever, or like a reservation, like they did the Native Americans, all behind big old fences. And the people behind those fences can't live a normal life, can't live a safe life, can't live a life that's standing worth anything. The only problem of it is because they're in the fences, and for years, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, all those type of presidents, even a little bit of George Bush, wanted to create a two-state, a Palestinian state along with the Israel state. But forces of the Republican background and of racism and people in Israel who are really not Palestinians don't want a Palestinian state. So when you leave them without having their own state, their own country, legitimate country, that's the same rights and power and leveraging another country, you then leave it wide open for terrorists to live over there and take control. And the Hamas group is a terrorist group. Hamas is a terrorist group. They did horrendous acts October 7th, 2023. It's just like if African Americans got tired of everything the Anglo Americans doing to us, and then what we do is we send them out there. We send out the Crips and the Bloods, or Gangster Disciples, or some other group that's a mafia type, or send out the Black Panthers who Black Panthers did a lot of stuff for education, but if they needed to, they would go to violence. We sent out a similar group to attack the American government and innocent people because of what we're going through. That's all Hamas is. Hamas was not the Palestinians. They came out of the Palestinians, and then when he hit among the Palestinians, while the Israelis were trying to kill them, and that's how a lot of civilians got killed. Okay? But it all goes back to we're not giving the Palestinians as a whole their own country to be legitimately run and could stamp out all the terrorists over there, because the country will have its own power to be able to operate. So then when the Palestinian United States and other places start protesting because Israel wiping out innocent people not part of Hamas and all that stuff, now we what? We anti-Semitic. No, we're not anti-Semitic. We anti-corruption. We're anti-falsehood. Anti-stealing land from the Palestinians. Anti-cruelty. That's what we're anti. There's no group or race of people on this world that anybody should be against because they're a race, a group, a religion, or what they believe in, a culture. But when that group of people try to oppress or dominate, enslave or reservate any other group of people, then we have to speak out against it. Israel been doing it to Palestinians for a long time, since the 1973 war. Okay? So, just like Anglo-Americans try to dominate African-Americans and Hispanic Americans, we cried out against it. I don't hate not one Anglo-American person. I hate not anyone that's not of my color, but I hate your ways. And I hate your racism. I hate your hate. I hate your domination. I hate your colonization. I hate your lies. I hate your greed. And so then we cry loud and don't spare nobody. We get to work down in the trenches to make a change. That's what we're trying to do. Now, these two brothers, two gents that left me out here to preach a sermon or something out here. Two gents that left me over here. Come on. One cruising with the top down. The other over there playing with his instruments and machine. But we got you. Rev, do you agree that religion has been a total primary use for division? Yes, sir, Sean. Religion, not salvation, not relationship with God, but religion. And this is how they did it. I just teach this in history. There are three reasons why people colonize or have a war or even go take over another country. Those three reasons are this: gold, economic, glory, power, and God. Explain it. People say, "Oh, we can go find gold.
Amen.
We're gonna take over." I heard myself through the wrong mic. Oh, we can make money off of tobacco and cotton. Oh, we're gonna get the resources, diamonds, silver. That's economic. That's gold. Second thing, glory. What country can have the most land and the most power in the area? Remember in 1588, the Spanish Armada had a battle with the British, and the British won that battle. And so now the Spanish was pushed back to Spain, and now Britain had whole control of the Atlantic Ocean. We planted our flag on the Atlantic Ocean. That's what the British did. France came over. Spain was on the backside through Mexico and western part of the United States. What happened? They controlled New Mexico was New Spain, all the way from New Mexico, what we call New Mexico today, Nevada, all the way to California, back to Mexico. That's the glory of Spain, the glory of Mexico. France came in the middle of it, had part of New Orleans, had part of Canada, upper part of Illinois and all that stuff, till we took it from them. They had the glory of their flag on their land. I'm going somewhere with this thing about religion, brother. And Great Britain had the East Coast, the 13 colonies. Lo and behold, how did we get the land for the Native Americans? The same way the Roman government did once they decided they wanted to be Christians. Great Charlemagne and other kings who became popes. Even the King of England, who took the England to the church, went against the Pope. They used religion and say, God put me in this place, so you're going to do what I say in the name of God, what is right or wrong. So you come to America and you say to the Native Americans, you don't know Jesus. Coming to the mission, we baptize you in the name of Jesus and steal your land and rape your women. That's religion. You take the African away from his country and tell him the white Jesus is the Jesus you need to know. And there is no white Jesus. And may I say, there's no West Coast African black Jesus. Jesus from Palestine, a man of color of Palestine and North Africa. Where they hit in Egypt from 0 to 2 years old, or 2 years old to maybe 4 or 5 years old. Out of Egypt, I call my son. All right? But they present to you a white Jesus and say this white Jesus says that the Bible says that because you of Noah's son, Cush, you're cursed. It's a lie. You're a lie. It's a lie. Because in the Bible, New Testament says he came to the Jew, the Greek, the Gentile, and even to the barbarian. You know what the barbarian is? Go look at Webster. Barbarian, Anglo-Saxon. Beowulf. Read your English stuff. The Vikings, the Norsemen, who finally graduated or evolved or evolutionized themselves into Great Britain and Wales and Scotland. But in the back, they started out as barbarians. And the Germans, all barbarians. The Bible called them barbarians. They got it last, but the first became last because Jesus was from Africa. The first became last and last became first. They used religion to divide and conquer. So to bring it to present day, evangelical church thinks that Trump represents Jesus Christ. The rape, at least 25 women have said he raped them. We know on record we got one for sure. In the court of law, $500 million he owed a woman. Okay. Another one, Playboy Bunny and paid off the first time he was running. Let's go with that. All of the hate he did against the Central Park Five, all of the criminality he did 737 felonies, the spy stuff he did in Mar-a-Lago that they couldn't get to him for. January the 6th, police killed. Come on. But the evangelical church says he represents Jesus because he's an Anglo-American, 6'3", almost 300 pounds, hollering, "Make America Great Again." That's religion. When it says love your enemies, do good for them. No, he hates on folk, don't even hate him. It says take care of when I was sick, you visit me. While I was in prison, you came and visit me. When I had nothing to eat, you fed me. Know what he's trying to do? Cut out Medicare, cut out Social Security, cut out Medicaid. Want to do away with Obamacare. Do away with Head Start. Anybody that doesn't have the top 1% of money in the world is nobody to them. Dirt. But they say represent Christianity. That's religion. Woo, boy, I tell you. Sean says, okay, Sean turned me into a Bible study now, Ron. Well, I guess since I got the mic, I may as well go with it. So why do we have so many ways to God when there's only one God? Well, there's not so many ways to God. That's the issue is. There's so many ways that folk understand who God is. God revealed himself in many ways. When in Acts the 17th chapter, Paul was on this place called Mars Hill, where all the philosophers like Plato and Socrates and Aristotle met. And on this place, they had all kind of gods. God is Diana, fertility. God is of this, the God of that, the God of the other, the God of this, all the different gods. And then that in the scripture says to the unknown God. Knowing that they knew there was somebody they didn't know. They could put a name to him. How could they reach him? Paul said, I want to talk to you about this unknown God. In him we live and move, have our very being in existence. And if perhaps you might seek him, he's not far from you. But the only way to get to him is through Jesus Christ. But don't look at Jesus through the image of some European ideal. Look at Jesus that God is a spirit. God is a spirit. He's not black, he's not white, he's not brown, he's not yellow, he's not green. God is a spirit. Jesus, the flesh for 33 years, was a man in Palestine. And when he comes back, the Bible says, hair like wool, bronze face. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a spirit that moves and lives. And if you call on his name, he said, I'm the way, the truth, and life, and no one comes to the Father except by me. That's all I can tell you. There's only one way to God is through Jesus Christ. But don't look at him through historical or fictional ideal of what you thought about Jesus. Look through him by his spirit calling out to your spirit. I don't mean to have church, but I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question, brother. Answer your question. We come on 8:20 tonight. Our engineer, our host, Ron Spikes, allowed me to be able to talk because he couldn't hear me, but y'all can hear me. He's trying to fix the lines so that he could be heard and that y'all can call in. But you can call at 832-856-5964. Bearing Glass, I seen him walking into a place, a location, with his phone. I think he's going to switch over into his laptop or computer or set himself up. And now let Baron Glass, when he get in, let him start talking because I've been talking enough.
Yes, sir,
Baron,
Mr. Riggins.
Thank you, sir. Talk to us, Baron.
Yes,
I done preached the whole sermon. Gave a philosophy class, a theology class, and a history class all in one.
Yes, sir. I come in when we do the benediction, but no, man, you did a good job. I wanted to make sure that we sorry that I'm late, that we read those YouTube comments that's out there. Ron, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Ron,
can you hear Baron? Put thumbs up. Can you hear Baron?
Okay. All right. I don't know.
He can't hear you. He only can read your lips.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm wondering if Ron is on mute by chance and just don't know. But we got some YouTube comments that's out there, Riggins.
Okay.
That
I've been answering. I've been talking to him. This
Okay.
That's how I've been making the discussion. So last time she just asked, so what do we do when people use hate division to push their political agenda? So here's what we do. We call it out like
hey, Riggins, you echo.
No, because Ron did something different. Ron did something different when he started echoing. Okay, now see, I stopped echoing. Just Ron is trying to fix it, but it can't be fixed. But anyway, when people use hate and division, we've got to keep speaking truth and love. See, everything about what Dr. King was doing, yes, we seen him march. Yes, we heard the speech and how eloquent he was when he spoke. Yes, he was able to make some moves with Johnson to get some laws passed. But the basis of what he did was speaking truth to power and using love to fight hate. When you say you love somebody, it doesn't mean that you agree with them, doesn't mean you hugging them and kissing them. See, that kind of love is called erotic. Okay? But then there's what you call philos. What philos means brotherly love. I can love somebody even though they don't love me, because the love I got for them is going to conquer their hate. I'm not going to agree with them. I'm not going to let them run over me, but I ain't going to let them peg me down to their level that they're trying to bring me down to. That's what Harriet Tubman used. That's the power she had to be able to run away and take 3,000 people out of slavery. Okay? That's what Frederick Douglass used to be able to speak out as an abolitionist. Because if I hate somebody, the hate consumes me. I don't have no power to take the leverage against them. I love the person, but hate what they're doing. Okay, so that's how you defeat hate and division, is use truth and love. Now you're not gonna fall in love with them. You're not gonna love their ways. You're not gonna agree with them, but you come against them with love. Because if you let hate, you end up trying to shoot and kill them. And look, guess what? You back with that. You can't do nothing. You locked up. Yes, sir.
Everything you're saying is good, but what I'm looking at is a generation now that had been taught how to love.
Yes, sir.
You know, we not us, but we oftentimes talk about what should be done, but you know, not us again. But nobody has taught the generation behind us, you know, how to do these things. So yes. If you notice, the 90, the 80, the 70-year-old is gone.
Yeah.
Shit, Riggins, it's people before you. It's us in the late 50s. It's the 40s. Then you got everybody else who have not been taught, you know, what to do, how to do. You know, if you look at everything that's going on, we've talked about this multiple times about, you know, the Israel that's there now versus the Israel that's in the Bible. You know, they're not even equipped to know what's going on. And, you know, so I wish we could, at some point, which we will, I know we will, do a lesson on Israel now, European Israel, versus the Israel that the Bible speak of, which is nothing. If I'm mistaken now, Pastor, if I'm not mistaken, Palestine and the Gaza Strip actually, in my opinion, is a part of Israel.
Yes, it is.
But you know, the good old US of A and the Europeans, you know, they came in and did what they always done, which if you look in the Bible, you look at barbaric and all those other type things. At the end of the day, these are history lessons to enlighten and inform. The only thing we're talking about is what the facts are. We're not
Yes.
pinpointing and judging anybody. We're just saying, hey, look, there's another set of facts that's out here that are justifiable. Israel now is not the same Israel that the Bible speaks of.
Yes, sir.
I'll leave it at that, Rick.
And if Jesus called it the abomination of desolation in Matthew the 24th chapter. And we could do a whole show on it. But because we owe there for one reason. We created the dome for them to protect them. We did all this for one reason. OIL.
Yes, sir. Oil.
Black gold. OIL. So here, Sean, remember I was talking about glory, God, and gold? We use God, Israel, the Jews, but the European Jews, to say that this belongs to the real Israel. We put the glory of the American power, European power there, that we protected them to get the gold. And the gold is black oil. It's always the same thing. Money, glory, and religion mixed together. For a war, for colonization, for anything they want to do. That's the three reasons. And they're joined together.
And again, Riggins, the Bible tell you, let every man be swayed by his or her own heart. And what we're saying is this: there's a such thing as history, and there's a such thing as his story.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what we're talking about is history according to going beyond what you've been told, going beyond of what you have not been taught, getting accustomed to the things that have been hidden to keep you in the thought process that you're in. Again, if you look at, I think Riggins, 2/3 or 3/5 of the world is people of color, whatever case may be.
Yes, sir. 2/3.
So when you look at facts, history, it has to come to mind that, if 2/3 of the world is people of color or people of color, what could happen? How warped minds, think.
But one third of the world trying to control the 2/3.
Well, and
look at the G7. The G7. Look at all people in the G7.
Yeah, group of seven.
Seven, and most.
And this man wanted to be the group of 8, which to add Russia in. Why would you add Russia in, bud? I don't understand this, Rick.
It's to create chaos. First of all, Trump is a Russian agent. And I don't care. See, this stuff that people don't understand. Since 1988, he's been groomed by Russia. He had one thought of maybe running against George W. Bush back then. George Bush. George H.W. Bush. He backed out of that. And it took him all the way to 2015 before he decided to run against a Democrat.
Right.
Yes, Positive D. This is something I tell my students the very first day when I was in the classroom. I say, look at this book. And I put a history book in front. I taught history. What did it say? They say history. These are 8th graders, 7th graders. It says history. I said, look at it again. Somebody said, it says history, Mr. Ricky, you can't read. I said, take your time. What did it say? His story. Yeah, his story. Whoever wrote the book is his story. And they're going to test you on his story because they got a test at the end of this year. But I'm going to tell you his story, my story, your story, and all our stories. And when the principal come by the classroom, that's about you teaching too much. You ain't standing to the strip. You get into information. I said, because I'm telling the whole truth. And you're walk in my class and call yourself going to give me evaluation what I'm teaching from this book. Because I told them what the book said, but I'm telling you those. Because let me tell you about everything. For instance, the war against Mexico for Texas. Let me tell you that whole story. The reason why Texans fought Mexico is because Mexico told Texans no more slavery.
Say AF.
Yes, sir.
There's a question. I don't know if you addressed it yet. So what do we do when people use hate and division to push their political agenda? That has been happening since the beginning of time. The American Negro has gone through that every day of their life. Would you say that that leaves you at the receiving end of injustice? Yeah,
what he's talking about when I said about the fact that the Anglo-Americans try to rule everything. And then we sitting there saying we're going to use love and hate and love and truth against hate. So that means we're going to have injustice. Well, let me tell you part of it, Sean. The way to fight injustice is with justice. And the only way you're going to have justice is got to have truth in it. Now, there will be some casualties along the way. Come here, Edgar Meggers. Come here, Robert F. Kennedy. And I don't even want to say John F. Kennedy was part of that. That's not the whole thing. Come here, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. You're going to lose some battles, but it's process of winning the war. Look at John Lewis. They tried to kill him in Selma the first time they marched, but he survived the beating. To live a long life, to start good trouble. So, yes, you might be on the end of some injustices because it's already designed to take us out. But if you're using truth against it and love, we're going to eventually win, because if we try to do injustice against injustice, then all we do is X each other out. Let me give you an example. The mafia wars, or the wars they have in Chicago, the gang wars back then, whatever. Or even, let's go all the way to the modern day gangs, Crips and Bloods and all that. When they use injustice against injustice, what happened? They just Xing each other out. But if somebody stands up and uses the truth and justice against injustice, that's going to be eventually the winner. And you got that's a faith walk. When we talk about faith, faith ain't just about trying to get out of hell to go to heaven. Faith is about everyday living. Can I live by what I don't see but know what's real? That's going to help me be successful. Do I have faith to know that when I start this company and I believe that I have a purpose in me and God gave me the ability to do it, that no matter who try to stop me, don't give me the money, try to redline, don't give us some stuff in the bank, that I will come to the top anyway? That when I start this program degree, I might be the only African-American in it, and they're going to try to keep me from passing, that I'm going to be to the top anyway? If I'm living in this community, they try to redline, I'm going to stay in this community and make sure other African-Americans get there. That's what I'm talking about.
But AF, let me ask you this.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Just to kind of put another perspective on there, the same things that you just mentioned, don't we see that done to ourselves by ourselves?
What do you mean, like we fight each other?
Well, all the issues, that's plaguing, modern day, society. It seems as if, we in some cases, we not us, but people steady point the finger, but we don't never accept the fact that a lot of these problems that we're having, some of them are caused by internal,
yes, sir.
Within.
Right. We don't take accountability for ourselves.
Yeah, I think there's blame that can be pointed over there, but I'm responsible for my home, my community, my neighborhood, and when community, neighborhood, and home, don't coincide, don't get along, don't get together, family reunions, trail rides, you got shootings, killings, and all this other stuff. There's enough blame now that we can accept the responsibility. Not to discredit what you're saying, but for those out there who are looking for balance and are saying that to themselves, yes. And I don't think you're excluding that. I think what you're doing is touching on the issue that's most important at this time, which is we try to touch any and all issues at all times. So I just wanted to add that in.
Thanks, Baron. Yeah, man. No. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. For us to be even, let me add to what you're saying. For us to even have the leverage, I even have the standing ground for justice and truth, we got to be first clean of our own house. Is what you're saying. If we can't get our own act together, it's hard enough. It's hard to fight people that's already fighting against us. We come in a weaker position when we come out without taking accountability for ourselves. I saw Positive D said, "Here we go with Trump again." I guess some in the past I said over the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes we did bring up Trump, but the reason why we bring up Trump because whether you want us like it or not, he's the most powerful man in the world. I guess you were talking about Trump and the G8. But he's the most powerful man in the world. But not his position. The American president of the United States is one of the most powerful positions in the whole world. And for him to have that much power at his discretion and to be so foolish and reckless and so evil and corrupt is a dangerous thing.
Well,
World War III today.
Again, this man is relevant, whether we want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. the most powerful man in the world who has control of pretty much everything you do and what you can't do. I think that's the problem that we have when we let stuff go by the wayside and we feel like, oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. Well, I think it does, and not to discredit what somebody else, is saying, because I don't want to do that. Because again, we ask for other people's opinions and value that. So I'm not discrediting what Miss D is saying, but I think on the lighter note, it's relevant, just like God is relevant, just like the weather is relevant, just like the air that we breathe is relevant. I get what she's saying. Harping on it all the time is not a good thing. And I get tired of hearing it myself. But again, Riggins, we got to touch those, events. And I think, Oh yeah. Positive D. No, I would never go against you. I support you 100%. And I agree with you. I get tired of hearing it. I get tired of looking at the television. I get tired of reading articles. Every time you turn around, is this man? I'm like, I'm tired of it. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I thank you for participating and supporting Two Gents every Tuesday night. You're one of the law individuals that's out there. We got some others that's out there as well. Ron say in the background that, there's a pretty good listening audience that's out there, which is fine, because again, the number one goal is to enlighten and inform. But I think Riggins, you've done an excellent job. But I think we need to teach or enlighten the relevance of the Middle East, the reason why there is certain parts of history that have not been shared. People have always been told that Fidel Castro and the Cubans and all of them had issues with, there's a lot of lies in that. People painted Castro as being this, that, doesn't. So maybe so, but there's another side of history that it's just not true. So I think we get watered down versions of and pieces of information to keep us in line. I think as you get older, we should start to researching. And when you find the truth, you have to buck good trouble. You have to get involved. You have to push the envelope and say, I've been taught this all of my life, but you never question why you were taught this all your life. So if a person is hiding something from you, let's take a husband or a wife, Riggins. If either or is hiding something from you, there's a reason why they're hiding. Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you find out that reason is when the devastation comes. And after the devastation comes, when you have to make a decision, whether you stay or whether you depart. And when I say stay is in reference to, if you juxtapose what I'm saying, stay means you continue to listen to the lies that you've been told, or you depart and you continue to follow the truth. And it's enough truth that's out there, Riggins, that could flip the script, could turn this thing around. But we need to make sure that our younger generation knows exactly what they need to know when it comes to world history, global history, and why there are some people, some countries that actually mean more than what we have been taught that they mean.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you. So here's the deal. I'm gonna say what you said about Castro. 1986, my grandfather sat me down and told me, he said, nothing wrong with Cuba. It's because African Americans are running Cuba. Mm-hmm. And they're African Americans, because Cuba is part of America, not North America, but on this side of the world, South America, Central America, are Americans, and they were people of color.
Riggins,
yes,
we
sir.
got a great question out here. Can any of you answer why the black folk do not have their own? What I mean is their Chinatown, etc. They keep their money within other nationalities as well. Riggins, I think we both can hit that, but since you're a historian, I'm gonna let you hit it. But what I did discover, Riggins, is this, and Positive D, this is gonna go exactly what you said. I was listening to a podcast last night, and it was talking about how the Chinese have infiltrated inside of Jamaica to where they're building hotels and motels, resorts, and in exchange, the leader is getting paid, getting bought out or whatever. So when he leaves, he's already got this nest egg set for him. So Positive D has an excellent question, Riggins. We look at the I can't get it, Riggins. My brain is going. We look at the option that's the quickest. We don't look at long term. The quickest thing is to sell out, get it quick, and be done. But long term is if you got all these people that want to invest in your geographic area, why would you sell them that? Go ahead, Riggins.
Well, man, some of it has to do with what you was talking about, where African Americans, even if we go back to slavery, in Africa, West Africa, African Americans were enslaving each other at first to work in the gold mines and silver mines, diamond mines. And then here come the Europeans with guns, silk, and stuff that they didn't have, clothes. And say, hey, we'll sell you some of our slaves. They get the quick way out, like you said. Except when they ran out of selling their slaves, those same Europeans came back and took the kings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in America, we have tried, you see, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you watched every documentary you can on that, Positive D. It was the most prosperous Black city within a city America ever had. The value worth of it today would be like Manhattan. Those Anglo-Americans saw it. They wanted to do away with it. They created a lie about a Black man messing with a white woman, just like Emmett Till. So this was on a bigger scale. And when that war broke out of the streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma, they came over and burned Black Wall Street down to the ground. Harlem. Harlem used to be in the heyday. If you ever watch The Godfather Harlem by Bumpy Johnson, true stories. Watch about Frank Lucas, American Gangster. Harlem has its heyday, but corruption got mixed in with the mafia and all that stuff, till where people took too many shortcuts, till where a few Black people was controlling all the money, and the masses didn't get it. And when Bumpy dies, they put Frank Lucas in jail. Everything happens. They squeeze it down. There has to be some people who, like Barron say, ready to go 2 or 3 generations. But the first generation might lay the foundation. Now, can I go spiritual? Second generation may water it. And the third generation get the increase. That's what the Chinese do. That's what other people do. The Chinese came here as diggers. We had the N word. It rhymes with it. What you mean diggers? They came and sent them out here and say, you're gonna dig for that gold in Russia 1849.
And Rick,
and when the gold ran out, guess what they did? They digged the railroad.
And you know
what? Go ahead, brother.
No, I was gonna say, as we talk about this, it has to be painful for us. And for those who want to deny history because of being the perpetrators, being uncomfortable don't constitute that you don't get the facts out. And I was going to say, that Bob Johnson's wife has something up. It's a West Virginia, Hamptons, in one of those areas where it's exclusive. Now, we're not talking about excluding other people, but there's a certain aspect, a certain neighborhood where there's well-to-do individuals, for African American descent, good luxurious places, kind of similar to Black Wall Street, and that's what my issue was earlier, Riggins. How can we do it the right way when nobody wants to talk to A.F. Riggins because he's driving a Cadillac, or he wears a suit to work every day, or he can speak well, or he has an education, but he still came up from the same place from whence everybody else is coming from. I think I may have lost Riggins, but again, you know, that I don't know, Ron, if there's a conspiracy going on with what's going on tonight, because you can't get in, Riggins can't get in, I barely got in, but nevertheless, you know, me and we're looking at about hour and 20 minutes of broadcast, and we got about another 10 minutes. You know, you're welcome to join in. I want to appreciate Positive D, Mr. Sean, and anybody else that's out there listening to the broadcast, because at the end of the day, you know, the number one goal is to enlighten and inform. Ron, I know I can see the expression on your face that you really want to get in here, but you can't. So whatever the case may be, we're going to move forward. Ron, we know that we got unrest, civil unrest around this world. We know Riggins is back. We know that Iran has always had a hit out on this particular geographical area in the world. We also know that Israel, in my opinion, is basically trying to concoct and lure the USA in to something as a hostage. And if this man that's in office is stupid enough to get involved, I agree with Riggins. The uranium enrichment that leads to nuclear bombs. At some point, somebody's going to say, to hell with this, I'm dropping it. So Riggins, from a historical standpoint, a historian, in my opinion, we don't need to have nothing to do with Iran and Israel conflict. We can't even handle Ukraine and Russia. And Ukraine it has wanted to become a part of NATO. I think they should become a part of NATO. I think we got issues over here in the inside of the USA, the borders that shit we can't handle. We got racism, we got sexism, we got all these other kind of isms, but we're trying to go over and police the world. This man that's in office, he fails to understand that because you are narcissistic does not mean that you can go over and change people's ideology that has been there for 200, 300, for centuries, Riggins, for thousands of years. You're not going to get the Ayatollah Khomeini, which is one of the old, but the Ayatollah, you know, some of these other
supreme leader,
some of these which has no belief system according to what you believe in. These people believe in the ultimate sacrifice. When I strap this thing on and I do this, that's what they believe in. We don't believe in that. We don't advocate that. But to think that, well, let me back up, Riggins. I think, and I looked at this and I was with it from day one. The nuclear deal that Obama and Biden was able to get agreement on, it was a start. It did exactly what we needed to have done at that time. Okay, Iran does not like this man. Okay, so since they don't like this man, use yourself as an example. If you don't like somebody, you don't even want to deal with them. So this man's ignorance and his deceptive ideology and his lack of intelligence thereof is going to lead us down the road, Riggins, that our kids and grandkids will have to endure.
Let me say something else. Tell me, pronounce the name of the Israel Prime Minister.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
I can't say the last name right.
Yeah, Netanyahu.
Netanyahu.
Yeah,
Netanyahu is on indictment for corruption. His indictments came up before Hamas attacked Israel.
Right.
He prolonged that war to hide himself from criminal prosecution.
Right.
That war has now over. He now with Trump, because see, if Harris would have won the election, Netanyahu, I can't say it again, Netanyahu would not have the leverage or the permission to attack Iran.
Right.
A felon who is his buddy 37 felonies gave him the green light to do it. And then comes out something about World War III. This is to keep him in power through war.
Yes, sir.
Got to know the whole truth.
Yeah.
This is to keep him in power. And then Trump jumps on his nuclear deal on the back door. And we can take out the supreme leader if we want to, but we're not. It's all like they're on the playground bullying somebody, fighting, but we're gonna suffer from it. That's what's really going on, people. Don't get caught up in all this religious stuff and Jesus and the Jews and God and Israel. No, God said pray for the peace of Jerusalem. No, pray for the peace of Israel, because Jerusalem is where the mess is. Jerusalem is where they have a false ideology of what Judaism is. Christians and Muslims living there fighting over that land of peace, because Jerusalem means city of peace.
Right. And again, Jesus, to my understanding, came from Palestine.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's a Palestinian.
And he was Palestinian. So when you look at all of this other stuff again, before you say, what are they talking about? Are they just crazy? Well, do your research. Check your facts. And if we're wrong, we'll own up to it. But at the end of the day, Riggins, we're looking at an hour and 26 minutes.
I know. Ron said, wave your hand, be ready to pray.
Yeah. Well, Riggins, it's been a good show, man. You have done an outstanding job. I don't know what is going on with, this system. What I can say is that no matter what, you can't stop motion. And between one or the other, we can carry this ball for a full hour and 30 minutes. And it's no problem. No problem whatsoever. Ron, Riggins, man, we got to continue to teach. Matter of fact, we may have to look at coming on.
Waco 4th State Trail Ride. Who's that?
That's Ron. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Riggins, we got to look at, we have to look at maybe another night, another 30 minutes, because we got so much that we need to make sure that people are enlightened on. But what I want to look at next week or sometime in the near future is let's go ahead on, Riggins, and delve into this Israel back then versus the Israel now, and the relevance and importance to what history really is versus what fallacies that have been taught and continue to be taught throughout. There's a bulk of information that's out there. And
but I tell you what, I do a Bible study on it. I even got a documentaries with it that I've used in Bible study about a year or so ago that I can send to Ron. You can have it all put on the screen.
Okay.
So that night will be more of a, to be honest, because it's going to come from the Bible. The greatest book in the world is the Bible. The most read book in the world, the most printed book in the world is the Bible. It's just the most misunderstood book too. Let me say it again. The greatest book in the world is the Bible. The most printed book in the world is the Bible. But it's the most misunderstood book.
So AF, I saw listen again last night where Mr. Donald J made a couple millions off of watches, made a couple millions off of these Bibles that he sold. Yeah. You know, man, well, I thought you wasn't supposed to play with that book, man.
Well, let me tell you what, you play with the book and don't live by the book, guess where you're going to end up at?
Oh, no doubt. HELL.
It's called a lake of fire.
Yeah. Well, Riggins, I'm gonna
there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yes, sir.
And the worm will never die.
Hey, Ron say we will
add. The flame will not be quenched.
He said we'll add your Bible. Riggins, he said we're gonna add your Bible study on air.
Oh, you talking about the one that we do on Wednesday nights?
Hey, Riggins, you
know
I
see you posted. So what happens is this: I'm in a Zoom with my people, and I'm Facebook Live on my phone. So I don't know if I get on a different device to go StreamYard, but I'm in a Zoom with my people, unless I bring my people into the StreamYard, but it's be like 14 or 15 people. But we'll figure it out. I know y'all post it afterwards every time. But to go live on it, I'm about to find out how I can be live on my Zoom, which I think I can do live on my Zoom on my tablet. I'll have the tablet live on the Zoom on my tablet. I'll be live on my phone on Facebook, and I'll have this laptop on StreamYard.
Well, Rick, what you may experience then is a little back noise or echoing. because of
No,
the
what happens on my Zoom? Everybody's muted but me.
Okay. All
See,
right.
on my
So
Zoom,
Rick,
everybody's muted but me.
okay,
And then
Rick,
when I go off, yeah, okay, I'm gonna add you to the Zoom meeting. I will, Ryan. I add you to the Zoom meeting.
Rick,
Okay.
can I ask a favor, my old buddy?
Yes, sir.
Won't you send me that jacket you got on, man?
Oh, what size you wear?
Hey, won't you send me that jacket, man?
What size you wear?
44 long.
This is 42 regular, too
Hey,
little.
that's all right. I'll put it on just because. Hey, you know, hey, Rick, you know it ain't no style now.
I can find you. I can find you one at KG, I believe.
Hey,
44 long.
I tell you what, Rick, you find
Oh
me.
man, there you go. There
Hey,
you
Rick.
go, Ron. Stop.
Hey, Riggins, find me one, and I'm gonna cash out your Zelle, Apple Pay or something. I'm gonna send you the money and pay for the delivery. I need that jacket, man. I need it ASAP.
All right, I'm gonna find you one, man.
When can you go and look for it, man?
I'll look for it tomorrow. If they still, I got this a couple years ago, but I think I might can find it.
Well, Riggins, go on, give me that one, man. You don't wore for
This
2
is
years.
42 regular. It's too little.
That's all right. I can wear it.
No, you got 44 long.
Hey, man, I can
You
wear
already
it, bro.
put it on, brother.
Hey, Mr. Spikes, please jump in and tell me I can wear it, man.
He said 44 long. I wear 42 regular.
Yeah,
It's
no,
too
seriously.
little.
Though, if you can go and find me something like that, man, I'll send the money ASAP. And that way you ain't got to purchase it, because I'll send the money and pay for the shipping and all that. Or if there's a store out there where you can tell me I might be able to look at it, or send me when you get a chance, just send me a picture of it, and I'll take a look.
Right.
I'm breasted down, Ron. You know, I've had a long day, man. I've been going since about 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning, and I still got some stuff that I need to do. But remember, Riggins, we don't give up and we don't give in. Riggins, I'm gonna throw it back to you, man, and close us out.
Yes, sir. All we do is we stand up. After done all the stand, the Bible says stand. It says be mindful of the tactics of the devil and all his evil forces, principalities and weaknesses in high places. But having done all the stand. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to share with our brothers tonight, share with our audience tonight, with the community, even world, whoever's listening, because we want to impact our community, our city, and our world. We just want to speak truth to power. We don't hate anyone. We hate evil ways, corruption, and we hate lies. We just want to be able to share what's right and true to help our people and all people have a better life. Thank you for 2 gents and a mic. We leave this place, but not your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Hey,
Rick,
Rick,
Ron, say good night. God bless. We had a good show.
peace out, man.
Right, we can just read your lips, man. Take them pictures down, man. You do me like well, you always try to get me out there, man. See y'all later, brother.